I want to look at some graphic arts, and one of the best artists of this period dealing in what we might consider graphic arts today is going to be Martin Schongauer. And he's going to work in a form called etching. What they're doing is they're basically taking a copper plate, they're covering it with wax, they scrape away some of that wax, and then they bathe it in acid. So wherever they scrape away the wax, suddenly gets eaten away by the acid. They remove the wax and the piece is ready for printing. And in this case, each area that they cut away is where the ink will be held. So they're cutting a positive image. And etching will be very useful, especially later on, again, when we get to the Gutenberg press, because it allows for mass production of an image. The piece we're looking at is St. Anthony Tormented by Demons. And here, St. Anthony is calmly taking the demon's punishment. This is really looking at someone who understands those four cardinal virtues: temperance, prudence, fortitude, and justice, knowing that these demons can't really hurt him. And if they do, he's going to heaven anyway. So does it really matter? It's an incredible image of patience, an incredible image of stoicism, really at a base level. Now, great skill was required to develop the tonality and texture present throughout the piece. So we get a sense of texture of each of these demons just from the use of hatching and cross-hatching in the etching process. Each of these lines painstakingly cut into the wax to allow that acid to take effect. He's also going to be one of the first to use cross-hatching. The Italians, who also did some etchings, were known for parallel hatching. The difference is cross-hatching is where I'm putting in my lines, but then I'm crossing them every so often. And that allows for the development of materials and texture. It works really well for it, whereas simple parallel hatching works well for contour, which makes sense because the Italians are doing this for the human form, which is almost entirely contour. And in Northern Europe, they're doing this for images like this or images with a lot of clothing, where capturing texture rather than contour becomes more important. Now, when we look at the piece, it's incredibly detailed. And early on, before the Gutenberg press, they are using these. What they're doing is they're using something sort of a simplified press simply with the plate. And they would put these pieces out as individual pieces at print shops. You could buy them for fairly small amounts of money and use them to decorate your home, your religious space, or as reminders, as most people do today at some level. The demons, you'll notice, have animalistic tendencies, and that's because there is no set form of a demon at the time. There's no, oh, the eyes are black, but they look human, or whatever else. Instead, they're simply animalistic, and they're very specific forms of animal. They tend to be animals that make us squeamish, animals that make us uncomfortable. You see a lot of unusual fish features because the sea is something undiscovered. You'll see mammals that tend to be predatory. You see bird forms combined with, for example, porcupines and other creatures. These are just to give us a sense of something that is disturbing. Today we might do the same thing but use insect forms like spiders and such because they are so disturbing to us at a deep level.